welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review. Now, Vicric is a bit of a whale, so some of you who are watching may not see any value in looking at his roster review because you're free to play. But let me tell you something. Finding out what others are doing may help you decide not to do certain things and or may help guide you into other areas of the game you may want to further. Now, this one's going to be a lot different than other roster reviews because I asked them what they want to get feedback on, and that is what I talk about only for now. It's what they want. Now, shout out to Assassins of Hope, his guild, Assassins of Hope. Now, he has a good arena squad. He's happy with it, and it's working well. However, he is, like I said, working on another arena team as a backup or a secondary arena team, and that was a Rogue One team. So let's go ahead and check that out. So his question to me was, should I continue my Rogue One farming or should I abandon it? Well, I don't believe in abandoning anything if you're doing it and it's a good team. Our Rogue One is arguably one of the best synergistic teams in the game. So you have got your Baze, Malbus, and your Churret both at 5 stars in gear 11. Keep going, or you got Baze at gear 10. Keep going with those two. Cassian, you've got leveled up. Jin, you've got leveled up there 5 and 6 stars respectively, so that's good. And you've got, let's see, K2SO 7 stars, gear 8. And you may find you want to replace K2SO with the new book, Bodhi Rook, with Bodhi Rook. Bodhi Rook is a potential replacement for K2SO, but either way, you've got a phenomenal Rebels squad. So the question to arenas is R1 viable and should I go with them? Absolutely. Now, they're all naturally, other than, you know, Baze and K2SO, they're all naturally pretty fast, the attackers and supports. And so you do still want to put a lot of speed on them. So I would continue to do that. As far as the heroic AAT, you asked me specifically about Phase 2. Now, you do have Kylo Ren, so you could use him to solo Phase 1. But as far as Phase 2 goes, you wanted to know whether you should do a First Order team or a Resistance team or a Clones team. I've looked at all of your First Order, your Resistance, and your Clones, and you have the most work put in on the Clone Troopers. So my suggestion is the path of least resistance, right? In this game, everything just costs a lot of money or a lot of time. So I would definitely finish your Rogue One for Arena, and then for Phase 2 Heroic, I would do the clones. You're already getting really close as far as their star level, and then you've got, you know, a couple of them already starting to be geared up. So do your clones, finish them off, put them in your favorites, and start working on them, and they will be your heroic AAT Phase 2 team, okay? So, and then as far as the arena team that we were just talking about on your Rebels, like I said, you're also going to want to have speed on Jin, Cassian, and Churret. So you asked me about arena, is R1, you know, the Rogue One viable? I said absolutely yes. The next thing I wanted to give you was a possible team that you have almost all of already, which is a phenomenal meta-breaking team, and that is a Rex lead. So you want to put in Rex in the lead, and you don't necessarily have to make him fast. You can make him tanky, and I would put as many good tanky mods on him with protection and things like that, offense, stuff like that. He's going to speed the team up. That would be who I'd put on there. Then I'd also put, of course, the Chase combo. That's Baze Malbus as the tank with the Churret in the background for the heal, dispel, or the cleanses, and the damage. He does phenomenal. And then the last two I would use is going to be Darth Nihilus or General Kenobi in this team. And until you have General Kenobi unlocked, until you get General Kenobi unlocked from your guild, I would recommend putting in Darth Nihilus into this team I'm suggesting, because you got Rex, Churret, Baze, Kylo Ren already, and then I would say General Kenobi or Darth Nihilus, and you don't have General Kenobi yet, but you've got your Kylo Ren maxed out, so that's phenomenal, and then Darth Nihilus. So your Darth Nihilus is not seeing any love. He's 3-star, gear 4. I would highly recommend getting him up. Darth Nihilus is viable at 3 stars and is viable on any team. Now, you won't be able to use Darth Nihilus in the raids because he's only 3-star until a few months goes by and you can farm him. But in the meantime, gear him up for Arena. He's phenomenal in Arena. He is a guaranteed insta-kill. It's just like the Culling Blade with Darth Vader or the Execute with Boba Fett. It's meta-changing, and so you definitely want to make sure you're working on Darth Nihilus. As far as, you know, a side project that I saw that I would really suggest you get yourself into, someone that you haven't focused on that's down here near the bottom, is B2 Super Battle Droid. You have him 5 stars, gear 1, level 1. B2 Battle Droid is indispensable for any player, whether you're free to play or whether you're pay to play. He can help you tear through any of the teams that you're going to be facing, and he's almost always the solution to a problem. And him and Boba Fett combined are together sometimes the solution to get through any team. A lot of times you can have 3 of any type of synergistic team and then add Boba Fett and B2 and get where you're going. So I would recommend you get B2 Battle Droid, and I recommend you finish your Boba Fett, get him up the rest of the way. Now let's go ahead and go into ships. You're in the top 200. That's excellent. Your ships look pretty good. You have Admiral Akbar, and you're using the TIE Fighter, the Biggs, and the Ahsoka ships. That's great. What I would do is actually take Wedge, and I would take out, and when you have Ahsoka in there too, I would take the Scimitar and Wedge out of that lineup, and I would put the TIE Advanced and Sunfac in this lineup. And the reason for that is you have the TIE Advanced, and that's turn lock heaven, so or target lock heaven. So I would definitely put the TIE Advanced in, and I would do a 2-tank combo to try and keep yourself a little tankier in the initial. And then as soon as they kill either Sunfac or Biggs, which the RNG makes sure that happens really quick, then you'll have the Scimitar come in as your first off the bench, and then Wedge after that, and then Rex is who I'd recommend actually as your third and last ship. So there's your TIE Advanced. I'd have him in your initial lineup with Admiral Akbar. I'd also have your Sunfac, who's second in lineup. Your Imperial TIE Fighter I would have in your initial lineup, and I would have Ahsoka, and I would have your Biggs. Those first 5 are, you know, 5 out of your top 6 ships. Those would be the top 5 I'd put in your initial lineup, and with good cause. You'll have plenty of target lock, you'll have plenty of tanks, you'll have plenty of attack damage that gets done. So that is great. And then again, I would have the next 3, Rex, Scimitar, and Wedge, in your backup, with Scimitar being the first in the backup. Now, the reason why I'm suggesting Scimitar a lot in the backup now is because if you only have 1 tank and the Scimitar initially in your lineup, there are times when the other team may potentially kill your Scimitar before it gets a chance to use his ability. And to guarantee the Scimitar's ability, to guarantee it, you must put it in the initial backup lineup. That guarantees when he comes in, he gets to use his ability, and you at least get to use his ability once versus him being picked off right away, potentially through the AI. So I am starting to recommend Scimitar being in the first of your backup. I did used to have him in my initial lineup. It worked very well, but I also had 2 tanks to try and keep him alive, and I do still suggest a 2-tank initial combo. Be balanced. Have a couple attackers, have a support, and have a couple of tanks in your initial lineup. So that's what I would do with ships. You're doing really well. I would just put TIE Advanced and Sunfac in that initial lineup, and I don't know if you're using Rex at all or not, but I would definitely use him with your Admiral Akbar ship. And the rest of them, you know, the Executrix and Endurance, if you think you want to use them, then that's fine, but I wouldn't put a whole lot of energy into them. I beat their those ship challenges at level 1, so I don't think you really need to spend a whole lot of money leveling either one of those characters up. So hopefully this helps you. Super focused Vicric on exactly what you need to do, just keeping in mind that you do still want to get your General Kenobi unlocked through your team and level him up. Get your Darth Nihilus leveled up as a side project. Get Boba Fett finished and get your B2 geared up, leveled up, and ready to go. I hope that all of that helps. Make sure you do your clones for phase 2 and your clones just for fun. They'd also be fun in arena, not that they're ridiculously viable, but they could definitely keep you in the top 50 probably on your shard. And you've got your Rogue One for arena. As always, hope this helps. Keep your gaming on. Warrior out.